Foreign exchange students are welcomed in Washington Township. One last goodbye to a local K-9 officer, and Rowan sports enter the postseason. All that and more on this half hour of RTN News. Welcome back to a brand new episode of RTN News. I'm Victoria Todorova.
And I'm Sean Kelly. Let's get into some local news.
Washington Township High School has welcomed 7 exchange students from France. The students took up the residence and homes across Washington Township and attended classes with the host students. The visit is part of a foreign exchange program sponsored by Carousel Inc. A total of 48 students came to the United States as part of the tour. The students arrived Monday evening and met with their host families. The next day, they attended school, enjoyed breakfast, and chatted with their host students for the school day. The French students will return to Washington Township High School on Friday and shadow their hosts again.
Staying on the subject of Washington Township schools, an elementary school has been honoring the New Jersey Week of Respect. Whitman Elementary School has been focusing on kindness and decided to host a 2-day coin drive to help out those devastated by Hurricane Maria. The response was terrific as $949 in coins came in during the first 2 days, as well as gene donations from various staff members of the school. Whitman Principal Ray Anderson said, quote, "We felt like we needed to do our part to help out." In the end, the school was able to raise $1,434.62 and presented the check to the Red Cross on October 18th.
A Long Branch school bus driver fatally struck a city woman riding her bike earlier this month. 45-year-old Marva Fitzpatrick was riding her bike on October 2nd when she was hit by a city school bus at the intersection of Stairs and West End Avenues. The school bus did not have any passengers at the time. Fitzpatrick died on October 26th after suffering brain damage. The driver was 47-year-old Mary Costanito, who was charged with careless driving.
News out of Brooklawn today. A young girl has just claimed a $100,000 settlement after being denied anxiety medication by the school nurse. The girl, who has been identified only as JR, was a 4th grader during the 2012 school year and was harassed severely throughout the year. After the bullying had not been taken care of, the girl was prescribed anxiety medicine to help her, which the school nurse would have to give out when needed. The nurse did not oblige, claiming that the girl only used the pills as a crutch and a way to get attention. Without her medication, the girl attempted to harm herself and was taken out of the school district. Her mother sued the district's Board of Education and received the $100,000 settlement on September 20th. Chilly, chilly, chilly. It's definitely getting cold as we near November. Here's Emily with your weather forecast.
Thank you, Sean. Even though we had a rainy day this last Sunday, the weather for this week is much better. The morning will start with 37 as our lowest and 58 as the highest. Wednesday is going to be cloudy with the lowest 51 and the highest 58. Thursday and Friday, our temperature is going to be with the lowest around the mid-50 and the highest in the upper 70s. Saturday is going to be cloudy again with the lowest 51 and the highest 59. And again this Sunday, don't forget to wear your raincoats because rain is on the way with the lowest 55 and the highest 61. This upcoming Monday, our day will be cloudy with the lowest 54 and the highest 66.
It's getting a little colder, getting a little rainy.
It's not my favorite. Definitely not. No.
I'm all right. You know, just nice. I'm all right.
It's chilly. I think it's very chilly.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Me too.
I'm good.
Coming up, we'll have the latest in entertainment, so don't go away.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
back to RTN News. Here is Frank with this week's entertainment.
Hey everyone, we have a very special jazz event coming from the Rowan Music Department this Thursday, November 2nd. The Rowan Jazz Band is going to be led by noted jazz artist and faculty member Dennis de Blasio from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at Flieger Concert Hall. If you're a big jazz fan or if you enjoy great music in general, make sure to stop by. Don't forget that if you're a Rowan student, you can attend the event for free just by bringing your Rowan ID. To make sure we get into the Halloween spirit, the student university programmers are showing 2 films this evening, both of them very Halloween related. First, we have the Disney Halloween classic Hocus Pocus, and later on, focusing more on horror, we got Annabelle Creation. The event starts at 8 p.m. tonight at the Student Center Ballroom. Bring your Rowan ID and get popcorn and hopefully get spooked. Moving on, this Thursday, the Student Center is getting fancy with a etiquette dinner as well as dance lessons. The event is going to take place at the Student Center Ballroom as well as the Pit, starting at 7 p.m. all the way to 1 a.m. If you're up for a fancy meal and some dancing, this event has it. Now, if you'd like to entertain people, then this Saturday is your opportunity because there's going to be an open mic night. Bring your jokes, your singing, your poems to the Student Center Pit at 9 p.m. Who knows where it might lead? Even though the most important thing is to have fun, just like the package Leon has for us today.
On the Saturday before Halloween, RA had their annual Holly Bush Haunted House, where some students gathered and went through the haunted house for a night of terror, but others weren't so scared.
Before I went in, I was like, this is going to be scary. And as they were trying to scare me, I was rating them. I was like, you almost got me, or I was like, nah, not as good. You got to work on it.
Oh, it was fine. It was cool. You know, I kind of like expected it, and you know, the strobe lights really got me. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to have a stroke. But yeah, it was good stuff.
One guy hanging was like creeping behind one of the pinups, and that only got me because I was completely blind. And then once I finally saw him, I said hi, and he goes, how's your day going?
I went through the haunted house myself, and to say I wasn't scared would be an understatement. Outside of the haunted house were refreshments for students, which some students came for.
I came for the food. Like, honestly, good food.
Those refreshments included apple cider and apple donuts.
Got some apple cider, got an apple donut. It's nothing, you can't get any better than that, man. It was a great time.
I went through the haunted house with these lovely Rowan students right here. Wasn't it scary?
Yes.
Yes. Man, well, we survived, so it's great. Reporting from Rowan University for RTN News, I'm Leon Purvis.
So, do you guys go to the haunted house?
No.
I did.
I hate Halloween.
Really?
Well, I like Halloween in the aspect of dressing up and having fun.
Right.
Horror is my least favorite thing in the world. I get scared very easily.
I get scared very, very easily as well, but I went with a friend, and we were late for the food. We got some apple cider, though.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Good.
It seems like it was fun.
Very nice.
It was very
seems
fun.
like a lot of fun.
Scary, but
Coming
fun.
up, we have more local news, so don't go away.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
A long-time serving member of the Millville Police Department has passed away. Hannah, a trusted and successful K-9 dog, passed away this past weekend and ended a very successful 7-year career in the force. After being rescued from euthanization when she was 1, Officer John Butchke took her to the Atlantic County K-9 Academy and began her law enforcement career in 2007. In her time with multiple police departments over the years, Hannah has responded to hundreds of potential bomb threats, as well as being on duty during Super Bowl 48. Butchke says Hannah will be cremated and then returned to him.
47 people were killed and dozens were injured in a fireworks factory explosion near the Indonesian capital of Jakarta on Tuesday. At the time, 103 workers were believed to be in the building when the explosion occurred, and 10 were unaccounted for. 34 others were taken to the hospital. The explosion took place, followed by a smaller explosion, and then a fire broke out, leaving victims with burns. 10 fire trucks sent to the scene. Officials suspected an electrical short circuit caused small fire which triggered the explosion. Police are working on identifying the bodies. And now to Devon with What's Trending.
Thanks, Victoria, and hello everyone. Welcome back to another edition of What's Trending. Actor Kevin Spacey is accused of advancing a 14-year-old. As bad as it already looks, Spacey even came out as gay during his apology, which was even more problematic. Actor Anthony Rapp, a current actor currently starring in Star Trek Discovery, and who was in the original cast of Rent as a Child, came forward with his story to BuzzFeed. Anthony Rapp met with Spacey at an after-party for a Broadway show Rapp was appearing in. When Rapp was 14 and Spacey was 26, Spacey picked him up and put him on a bed, getting on top of him and making aggressive and unwanted sexual advance at him, grabbing his arms until Rapp managed to squirm away. Under Armour CEO Kevin Plank aims to do the unimaginable with his projects. Plank was interviewed for this week's Sunday Sit-Down with journalist Willie Guest. Plank talked about his competition with Nike and Adidas and how he feels that Under Armour is the underdog but is on the come-up. Following his talk about his company, he also plans to revitalize his company's hometown, Baltimore, Maryland. His developmental company has opened up a hotel and distillery there, creating thousands of more jobs. And combined with public fundings, Plank will spend $5.5 billion on a long-term project to completely transform the city's distressed waterfront. Plank states that he would rather be known for his stand for Baltimore. Multi-billion-dollar company Apple fires iPhone X engineer after his daughter's viral video. YouTube blogger Brooke Amelia Peterson said in a new video on her channel that her father, iPhone engineer Ken Bauer, had been fired after she showcased the new iPhone X. At the end of the day, when you work for Apple, it doesn't matter how good of a person you are, Peterson added in the video. If they break a rule, they just have no tolerance. The new video was posted on October 28th, has nearly 3.5 million views already. The original video, which has been since taken down, showed off new features of the iPhone X, including using Apple Pay, shots from inside Apple's cafeteria, and even shots of Bauer, who handed the phone to Peterson in the video.
Yeah, that Apple stuff, it's just so much for me. I'm an Android guy, so you don't have to worry about that in my world.
I don't know how you just like seeing the green all the time when you just
Love
text
the green.
people.
Big green guy.
Not the blue guy.
Not the blue.
No.
I like green.
Blue.
Right? Yeah.
As you can tell, I do enjoy green.
And I do enjoy blue. So.
Oh wow! I guess we're at a crossing.
There we are. We definitely are.
Coming up, we have more national news, so don't go away.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
The man who became the United States' first Hispanic four-star general has passed away this past Sunday. General Richard Edward Cavazos, a veteran of the Vietnam War, was 88 when he died at the Army Residence Community in San Antonio. He started in Korea as a lieutenant with the 65th Infantry Regiment and worked his way up through both the Korean and Vietnam Wars to become a four-star general. He retired in 1984 after leading a brigade, a division, and an Army Corps, and at one point commanding all the soldiers in the continental U.S. He is survived by his wife, who served under him in the Vietnam War.
Singapore now offers the most powerful passport in the world. Holders of the passport can visit 159 countries visa-free or gaining a visa on arrival. It is the first time ever as an Asian country has the most powerful passport in the world. Coming in second place is Germany with 158 countries visa-free visits. Meanwhile, the U.S. passport has fallen in favor since President Donald Trump took office.
There are a bunch of sweet treats to eat this year on Halloween, but it's not black licorice. The candy, which is made from a shrub usually found in Greece and Turkey, contains a compound that can lower a person's potassium levels, says the FDA. Eating too much can cause heart problems, high blood pressure, as well as swelling and sluggishness. This is especially bad with people with existing heart problems. The FDA says no one, old or young, should eat large quantities so you can have a happy and healthy Halloween.
8 people were killed when the Israeli military struck a tunnel leading into Israel from Gaza. The number of fatalities could rise because people are still missing. The tunnel was described as kilometers away from the nearest village. However, there was a recent discovery of the tunnel underneath a Gaza school. Israeli soldiers blocked the road close to the border. And now here's Rob with Rowan Sports.
Thanks, Victoria. Rowan Sports is a roller coaster this week, with stories of success in soccer and some undesirable results in football. Let's get into it. The men's soccer team just came off a massive win on Wednesday in the final NJAC game of the season. They played against the College of New Jersey, and with their victory, they will be the top seed in the conference tournament. The final score of their last game was 8-2. The Profs had a strong start, scoring 2 of their goals in the first half. Midfielder Tyler Logar was the first to hit the back of the net. Forward Zach Sakina followed with Rowan's second goal 10 minutes later. The Lions fought back in the second with 2 goals of their own, but the Profs seemingly transformed at the 60-minute mark. Forward Matt Hendrickson unlocked his full potential and scored 2 goals within 1 minute and 38 seconds. Shane Doherty performed a similar feat 8 minutes later and scored 2 goals within 3 minutes and 10 seconds. The Profs scored 2 more times before the game ended, showing the league that they're the team to beat. The Rowan football team, however, suffered another loss on Saturday against 25th-ranked Salisbury University in a conference game. The final score was 33-0. The Seagulls' defense has been consistently strong this season and proved to be too much for the Profs to crack. Linebacker Patrick Bernardo ended the game with 10 tackles overall, and linebacker Tom Montag forced a fumble in the first half. Rowan were down by 6 in the first, 20 in the second, and 33 in the fourth. Despite the loss, Rowan's defense had the makings of success between linebackers Chris Nesjes, Kyle Pierce, and Anthony LaRosa. Each of them were responsible for forcing 1 fumble against the Seagulls. The Profs' record drops to 3-5 overall, and their last home game will be played on Saturday, November 4th. The men's swimming team found huge success this weekend against NCAA Division II University of Bridgeport. The final score was 137-122, with Rowan coming out on top. The Profs took first in the 200 medley relay with Dan Lawton, Matt Grubb, Nick Marty, and Eric Fierstein. Fierstein also touched first in the 100 freestyle, and Marty won the 100 butterfly with 52.43 seconds. What secured the Profs' victory against the Knights was the 50-meter freestyle. Rowan secured first, second, and third through Fierstein, Marty, and Nate Wojewicz, respectively. The record increases to 2-1 overall.
Like, sports really up and down. Soccer doing great.
Man, soccer's
Football,
doing
another
great.
loss.
Yeah, right.
It's rough, man. It's rough. But hopefully, we do have some teams that come up and, they're good.
Yeah, if we can get our offense going, then we'll be a team to beat.
Definitely, Rob. Thanks a lot, man.
That's all for this week's edition of RTN News. I'm Victoria Todorova.
And I'm Sean Kelly. Have a great week, Rowan University.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that stuff.